Very nice. It's noon over here in Mumbai, and very nice to see your Murli class getting over. A nice revision again. So, yes, I've been in Gyan. It's been a few years now, and since about 2 years, I've been staying at the center. And actually, even I did not expect that I would come and stay at the center so soon or full time at any point. But it's Baba who I can say is literally pulled me, because since I came in Gyan, before Gyan, my attitudes were a bit more like skeptical and trying to analyze everything and trying to be perfect. But then as I started feeling the presence of Baba, I realized now that this life has to be of the one with the heart. It has to be a heart to heart connection now. Enough of mind that has been used, enough of head that has been used. And so I started off my journey like that. I was playing at that time, but luckily my break had come because I had to study for my final exams of psychology. So I started studying both, even psychology and Baba's Gyan, and then tennis was on a break. And as I went deeper into it, and as I started having some really beautiful, deep experiences, I realized that what needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. And then I decided that I need to spend more time in studying this more and understanding Baba more, and what karma I need to do now. Even when I was playing tennis, I always had this thought that after I retire, I would want to help other athletes or do something for the society. But then when I heard Baba's Gyan, when I felt Baba's love and his powers, and I realized that this is what I need to do and I need to do it now. So I made few decisions in life, and drama unfolded really, really beautifully. And the best part was I was studying psychology also at that time in Mumbai only, and I could have a good, I could distinguish very nicely that what psychology says and what Baba says, and what will benefit me more and what will benefit others more. And so then I finished my psychology studies also and started studying more of Baba's Gyan. And then COVID came, and luckily I had been to Madhuban before that, and I'd been to Pandav Bhavan, and I'd got a chance to experience that. So uh, it did not hamper any of my Purushart. Purushart has kept going higher and higher since then. And currently, at this stage, like all of you are definitely much more experienced than me, and obviously everyone must be doing a lot of good Purushart, and everyone's Purushart is unique, and everyone's connection with Baba is unique and very personal. But if I had to share a few thoughts about what I've been experiencing since some time, since a few months or weeks, is that earlier I would focus a lot that I want to sit and do tapasya and really have a deep connection with Baba. And because of that goal, luckily I did allow myself to sit and do some good amount of tapasya because that is also necessary. But then lately I realized that the soul cannot be without karma on this stage. And sometimes Baba says that karma shouldn't pull you, and you should have yogyukt karma, and you should be a karma yogi. Sometimes it happens that you get so much into karma that you feel that, is the yoke power decreasing? Is this what I've come here to do? So again and again, after studying Baba's Murli, and again when you connect with Baba, recently I've been feeling that the yoke during karma has to increase, because even Baba said that soon you won't get much time at all to sit and do yoga or to have a major amount of time to experience, and we're still lucky that we've been getting that time up till now. Luckily, at some times, not all the day, not every day, but yes. So I've been experiencing and realizing that during karma, we need to reach such a stage of yoga that even if you're doing karmana seva, or whatever karma you're doing according to your role, let Baba's unlimited service be happening during that karma. Because I chose to be in Baba's service or come and stay at the center, not because exactly that I wanted to be involved a lot in service, but yes, Baba's unlimited service, but because I want to follow Baba's Srimat, you know, that for a Kumari, then this is what I must be doing. And similarly, for each and every soul, there are unique roles, but I feel the point has come that, as it was there in today's blessing also, that it is Yog Bal, and it has been from the start. But again, now I feel that even if I sit in silence for a few moments, there's a strong pull you feel from Baba that just go on and spread light in the world, spread those vibrations. And just few moments you sit and start feeling, the vibrations of pain, and that the souls really need those vibrations. They really need the light. And sometimes it makes me feel that, oh, why don't I get enough time to sit and spread these vibrations? But then Baba's message is that you cannot leave karma, so you have to be a very, very good karma yogi. And even as a karma yogi, we all stay in remembrance, I feel. Like even Dadi Gulzar had said that every one of us are in remembrance, but it's in a different percentage all the time. But the only inspiration or the pull that I'm lately getting is that we need to really increase that percentage of our yoga during karma. And personally, what I've been experiencing is that I think those souls who can subtly connect with Baba, who can experience that stage of inner silence, even while there's a lot of noise outside, or even while they're getting very physical. But from the inside, there's a deep stage of silence. If you can experience that while doing karma, definitely there's light spreading in the world. Because even Brahma Baba, like as per what I have read or heard in classes, like what his stage was in the end, he used to be in such a powerful stage that even while probably cutting the vegetables or cleaning them, he would go into a deep stage of silence. And any child who would look at him would be, pulled along with him and would understand that he's not over here. So I keep getting this pull that when are we going to reach that stage? You know? And especially I could say being in Mumbai, and there's so much noise and chaos and so much crowd and so many things keep happening from all angles, and then we're right besides the sea. So many things keep happening. Probably that's why we get that pull. But yes, that's the thoughts that I've been getting, that when are we going to reach that stage, that yes, it's there that we are going to do purusharth, we're doing good purusharth, and we're finally going to reach that stage. But I feel like Baba is like, speaking softly in the ear, and he's like, but when, why not now? Why don't you start experiencing it now? Do something that you start experiencing it now. you know. And we all are going to become Pap Saman, but the message I keep getting in my ears is that when, and why not now? So personally, I've been doing this Purusharth that whenever I get the chance to sit in silence, make the most of it and just let the light keep spreading. But even when you're in karma, I think we really need to aim to achieve perfection of the inner stage that Baba says in the mind also, but also in the intentions, and then also what is there in your intellect. What picture are you really seeing? You know, sometimes I feel that sometimes I feel that we also need to reach that stage that we are here, but it's like we're even seeing the world with these eyes, but it would be good if we just don't register it at all in our mind. Mhm. And I think that's the stage we all need to be reaching soon. So thank you.
Your life journey in Brahmin feels like a very good example of time is short. You've managed to do many things and have realizations fast. So it's an inspiring example. And we usually open up for opportunity to share or add or ask. So just seeing if there's any, first of all, in the in-person gathering. Prashant, would you like to?
No, it is so nice to see Pareen again, and inspiring to hear of your incognito efforts and reference to Bapsaman, very encouraging.
Yes, I remember. Actually, Prashant Bhai and Sarah's sister, I met them at Gaon Devi, and very sweetly they agreed to meet two new students, and that's when we had a chance to interact also. And in fact, when both of you had come on the stage during after the Murli class over there at Gaon Devi, and both of you had shared, and I remember the experience that time. Uh, it was beautiful. Like I feel Baba was making me realize something and making me experience. Like the words were coming out of the mouth, but when Prashant Bhai was talking about Jivan Mukti and we're in the web and you know, we're in the white web or something like that, and it, words words were falling onto my ears, but I was going into another experience, and then I did follow many videos and many classes, and even then beautiful insights and beautiful experiences even while listening online, and many of my thoughts and purushat were like coming into words while listening to it. And so I'm really thankful to all of you, also the whole Cambridge team, and how you all keep arranging and having these having this service, online service. It's very helpful.
Nice to hear. And let's see if anyone online would like to say hello and share or add at this point, or you can type. Hi to Aldous.
Om Shanti, good morning. Good to meet you. And you were mentioning that you're in a very crowded city. And as you were speaking, we could hear the beeping of the cars on the street behind you. So I'm wondering, do you have a specific prashad or exercise that you do to deal with the noise of the city that you're at? Or is it still disturbing you when you're trying to meditate? It's not peaceful, or is it disturbing you when you go outside and the noise is omnipresent? How do you deal with the
Yes,
noise
actually,
and chaos of a big city?
yeah. Actually, I've been in this environment since I was young, so I think I may have gotten used to it, but because I was born here. But even when I sit in yoga, it's not I always think, that in the end, what scenes are going to come? It's not going to be silent. It's not going to be peaceful. So I have to get used to this. And I always think like that. But it doesn't disturb me anymore. And I always, because the concentration is always inwards, If I'm getting disturbed, then I definitely know that I'm not introverted enough. I have come into, Baba says, Bahar Mukta, extrovertedness. So I think if we are really introverted, if we are really going deep inside and connecting with Baba emotionally, I think emotions won't let those physical noises won't disturb, your emotional connect with Baba. So I always try to keep it very, I feel sometimes we get too mental and then all the physicality may disturb. But if we keep it very emotional also and try to connect with Baba with that inner silence and our deepest emotions, then those things, I don't think they really matter. They'll become background after some time.
It's interesting when you were talking about how your efforts are really to bring yoga into karma. And Baba often tells us about the sannyas is different because it's a karma sannyas. But here, thy soul is aware of this emotional bond with the father. Drama is parallel. It's a completely different effort. And then yesterday Baba said it's based on truth, whereas the sannyasi, the Vivekananda example, he said a woman is like my mother, but here we're seeing the soul. So what you were just sharing, it's maybe in the past it took support from mental frameworks, which has a point, but here it's like it's more awakening and emotional head and heart together. So yeah, just a comment really. And one thing, maybe a similar question, how do you remind yourself, because this activation of a more physical programming of action and targets and achievements, and even it can get reinforced in the community Brahmin world of, good, something is done physically, but we might have lost the inner game. So it's a very incognito effort. And how do you remind yourself, or do you feel that Baba is pulling you and it's natural all the time?
Very often I keep asking myself within that, what is it that I really want? Like, I, the soul, I've come from Paramdham, I've got this chance to experience such a beautiful world, and even at the end of Kali Yuga, and I'm soon going to go back home, but what do I really want to do? What do I really want? I do often ask myself, what do I really want? Do I want the appreciation of others? Do I want material success? Do I want many people around me? Do I want, whatever I want? Do I want to be a good speaker? Do I want to be a good sevadhari, on the outwardly way? But then those answers do not get a response. And I check what I really want inside. And what I really want inside is to be that really, really good child of God, who's really doing what God really wants us to do. And then I automatically stay on that line. And yes, obviously, there are many obstacles. I mean, and the beautiful part is that, physically, people may obstruct you in different ways, but we may still get over it. But then there are the obstructions of vibrations, what Baba says, hisab kitab, our karmic accounts. More than physical, they are very subtle, that keep pulling our intellect again and again. But then again, I keep asking myself that if I were to leave this body, would I really be satisfied with the state of mind that I have? Am I really satisfied with the quality of karma or the quality of vibrations I'm living in right now? Is this the most elevated that I have been? I keep asking myself, I keep checking and reminding, and then automatically it keeps putting me on the track that what am I really here for? And also, uh, knowing that now, yes, we're a child of God and God is here to uplift us, giving us the real knowledge and the powers and the love. That that obligation or the need to serve others in the real way, in the subtle way, or in the deeper way, where other souls will also at some point experience that connection with the Supreme Father, the real connection, which will allow them to finally say that, yes, this is who I am, this is my Father, and that's it. I don't need anything else. And that part really keeps pulling me that I have to, if I'm here, then I have to be doing that. And for that, then I need to be doing the Purusharth that Baba is asking, of creating that stage. So luckily, I keep pulling myself back in these thoughts. That really helps. Like even in last Sunday's Murli, Baba said that, like about, sorry, I don't know the English words, but Mukti Data, liberator, children of the liberator, something like that. And that now Baba wants to see angels coming on the stage. So certain sentences like this really, go deep inside that. And yes, the drama is so funny or it's beautiful that things will keep happening on the outside. The show will keep going on, but you have to choose that, you know, what importance, what do you want to give importance to? Because not just as a position in the future or, what Baba talks about status in the future, but what experience do you want to have while you're on this stage? What quality of experience or how elevated an experience do you want of life? And so all these thoughts keep putting me on that track.
Thank you, and I appreciate the clarity but simplicity in the sharing, and it's rooted in again the feelings and the checking simple aim, isn't it? And how easy it can be going off if we start to give importance to the drama. I'm sure there are other thoughts from here. Lots of, yeah. Can you share? We have incognito souls who keep quiet unless asked, so you can share something. Happy to listen. So anyone online? Rosemary?
I don't have any questions. Because what I'm hearing pleases the heart and goes home and is very much understood and appreciated. It's a beautiful journey and it's beautifully described. So many thanks to Sister Pareen for this for this example, setting an example for us all.
In fact, one thing could I share for like half a minute?
Yes, please do.
One thing I just remember that when I was coming in Gyan, maybe this could have helped that Dadi Gulzar was over here. And even though I did not meet her personally up front that time, but I think the vibrations of her stage also kept, creating that atmosphere that, like, what do you need to do now? What Purush, like she really set an example. Like Baba was probably making it realize I was getting realized, like Baba was making me realize through her. So that was a very, I'm thankful to Baba for that. That was a beautiful scene in drama. And even when the day Dadi left. I mean, there were beautiful vibrations, and even like I was one of the first ones to go into the room, and the vibrations were like very powerful. Like no one could say you're in Mumbai, but you're like in front of Mama, Baba. You're in the subtle region or Madhuban or whatever you call it, but the vibrations were at their peak, and that left a very deep imprint that what you really need to do. What is Baba here for? So I thank Baba and Rama for that.
One question connected with your service, appreciate your emphasis on yoga and karma yoga. But given your background in sports, do you have ideas to reach people in sports? You got some very clear package to offer to sports people.
Yes, in fact, I can say these thoughts did cross my mind, but I always, I always keep, like Baba as an observer along with me when I get such thoughts where I feel I could get entangled into, like thinking, and which I shouldn't be thinking. But I've got these thoughts, and then I always think and I leave it silent, and I see, I observe whether another chain of thoughts is coming, or whether is Baba trying to say anything on that. And I think up till now it's been quite silent, and I get a feeling that yes, if that has been the background, Baba may use it in seva sometimes, but no such any clear thoughts that I should be doing this, I should be doing that, or this could be done. So if I'm not getting those thoughts yet, so I've not felt the pull yet. But yes, if that has to happen, it will happen. Actually, today is the day of Ganesh Chaturthi, Lord Ganpati, who's worshipped in India. Right? So you may be hearing some fireworks. Are you? I was thinking, I wasn't sure whether I should be joining today, but luckily it's not that noisy right now. But yes, the elephant god has arrived in India.
Let's say we would like to approach certain athletes who are tennis players, Olympic tennis players. Is there any yukti that you could give that would be helpful for that?
Yes, it may actually differ from country to country or from culture to culture, but I think in that culture, maybe something, especially there are many academies, right? Training academies where everyone trains, even the top players, even the Olympic players. And even when I was playing, there used to be psychologists who would come. Like I've been with sports psychologists too. I've worked with them also. So maybe if we had any program for them, which would talk about holistic success or inner success or something like that, or really being able to enjoy, enjoy life as a person and not just as an athlete. Maybe in that culture, maybe in this culture, like in the Indian context, it would be slightly different. Maybe in the Indian context, it would be a little bit more about like dealing with pressure, dealing with results, or something like that.
You mean connect with the psychologist that they're having rather than connecting directly to them?
No, definitely we have to connect. We have to connect directly then, I feel. But yeah, if there are any contacts with psychologists who already work with them, that can also be a good start. Or if we can connect directly with them, that will be the best, I feel. Because sometimes being an athlete, that's what like Baba says, we have yoga with Baba, and as an athlete you have yoga with the sport, and that's how you're spending your whole life, and then all the ups and downs are completely related to your own self. And if you're winning, it's like you're having the best life. If you're losing, then you're nothing in life, then even if someone says, but you're a good person, it doesn't matter. As an athlete wants results. But if we can make them aware that, yes, results will come, but if you manage your inner world also better, then results will come automatically, instead of, you know, thinking too much and being so aggressive with yourself, or giving yourself so much pain emotionally. But if you manage the inner world, if you manage your inner success, outer success will be much easier. Something holistic could be offered to them, I feel.
Yeah, got Sheila here.
Just I like watching Wimbledon every year, some of it, and some tennis players get so worked up they smash their rackets, and I mean they need calming down, and some are notorious for that. You sort of remember them for ages afterwards when they're retired, how they behaved because they get cross with themselves, or it's somebody else's fault they lost a point or something.
I remember that I was on a tour, and while I was on a tour of like playing matches, I had started hearing Gyan online through YouTube, and I literally started practicing this, that I am a peaceful soul, I am a divine soul, my opponent is also a soul just playing a role, child of God, and I love him, and we both are friends, and we're just having fun. And I used to play matches like that, and it would make a huge difference, you know. So it's a very big uh, identity problem that, even I have reached those stages when I would feel like, smashing my racket or doing something like that, because you feel as if you're not winning, you're no good. I mean, you don't need to exist. It's like that. And so whatever, you get so irritated or frustrated. But when we understand that we're a soul and playing tennis is just a role, and the opponent is not really an opponent, just a child of God, just a soul. And I started feeling love for my opponent. And out of that love and that happiness, I started playing so well. And I still remember those were the best days of my tennis career. And I was just smiling, and like I felt like I was just flying on the court. So those were really good experiences.
No, I think that's marvelous how this knowledge can help so much. Yeah.
Surely it's applicable elsewhere as well.
That's sport.
Not on the sport.
Well, in your life,
I think
it helps us when
in
it
business or whatever, there are opponents in business, and you put everything into it. So it seems a lovely recipe.
Feels like it ties back to your karma yoga at the beginning. There's joy inside and the game energy. If we keep that in mind, then we don't get so serious, and it's more namesake. Rose asking, who are your favorite players?
Oh, I have to answer that? Okay.
If you want to.
I can say that since I was small, since I was a kid, I had this strong sanskar of not liking any human being too much. Probably I could say that this is my not first birth as a Brahmin. That's why I can relate to many, many sanskars. But I've always had this sanskar of not liking any Dehdhari, as Baba says, too much. So I would always think that I would make a team of 3, 4 players in this. I want to take all the best qualities and become that. Because everyone has their best quality. And yes, I was playing at the time when the top 4 were there, right? Roger Federer, Djokovic, Nadal, and Murray. And I would always be like, I reached a point where, I want to take this from here, this from that, and that's how I want to become.
Robert says, take the virtues. That's nice.
Sorry.
What other sanskars make you think that this is not your first birth as a Brahmin? This was an example. Do you have another example of sanskars that
Hmm.
makes you think this might be your second birth?
This is trivia kind of, but I can share a few that I've always been quite silent since I was young and very introverted, and I would like to be with myself in my own thoughts, and I always wanted to gather spiritual knowledge since I was young. So earlier also I would read many books and then write down points from it and then try to do, Manan Chintan on it and try to get some insights on it. And so when I got the Murli, that was like everything for me. And I always knew that, no human being can give me what I'm looking for, the truth. So I never got diverted at all at any human being that way. And even in India, there's a lot of bhakti, puja, and idol worshipping. I always had this inkling that, they're not God and they're beautiful human beings, but they're not God. They don't attract me that much. And when I would read few spiritual books, and I would really relate that yes, that there's one power. And when I went to the center, when I went to Madhuban, many things they didn't feel very new. They felt very, very natural. And then as I went ahead and when I would come into communications and interactions with the Brahmin family, it would feel very, very, very natural, as if this is what I've been doing. I just all the time, and I just wandered away for a few years, and I'm back here again. One thought that I would struggle with, or few of the thoughts that I would struggle with primarily would be that, I wish that the opponent didn't play that well today so then I can win. I used to have this thought, or looking at the crowd and looking at all the participants, that feeling of anxiety. But then when you understand Gyan, that they're just souls, we're actually one family, and all are just pure beings and Shiv Baba's children, then you feel so much love, so much love, so much love. And it's not a serious game. It's like you're just in the garden in a picnic with your loved ones. And that shift, it makes you feel as if like you're just crying. And even in this state, it's not that I went on to win matches continuously. I of course faced loss also, but I didn't think negatively for others. I did think negatively a bit for myself, but there was still so much positivity that each soul has their own role, and any soul can't be without playing their unique role. So if I'm losing over here, if I've lost this match, definitely there's a higher role, meaning I need to get better at certain things, and I'll be playing a higher role. This is just a signal that I don't have to settle here. I have to become much better. And no matter what, I will be expressing my full potential at some point. Those were my thoughts that time. And even when it came to the financial thing, I've always had this thought that, like Baba says, that everything's going to nothing's going to exist, everything's going to just vanish and disappear, get burnt. So I've always thought that I wanted to share, even if whatever there was something that I would earn, I've always thought that I would always share. But then yes, I did not continue on the professional track, and but I've always had this attitude that, always wanted to share everything with anyone. I would never be the one keeping too much with my own self. And I could relate this with Gyan a lot. Yeah, these are few things.
What I'm taking from this sharing is sorry, Sinem. Can't hear you very well. There's some disturbance on the line. Sound is not brilliant. Maybe you could type, Sinem. Thank you for the question. And yeah, what I'm taking from this is also the simplicity, coming back and feeling, checking in on the intentions, and then also you mentioned maybe service, and if Baba wants it done, and I think it keeps the mind much freer. Big secret probably for the Karma Yoga endeavor as well. So maybe we'll have to invite you again and hear how your experiments are going. And really appreciate again your being available at short notice. We really enjoyed your, and anything final you would like to share?
No, probably just one thing that Baba is there for each and every child. We just if we just go into deep silence, each one of us can understand what Baba really wants from us. And I think we need to we need to catch that signal and start doing that Purusharth immediately. And we can see that Baba responds to it then. We see the results of it. We see Baba's responses, meaning this journey is very heart to heart with Baba. It can be very heart to heart with Baba. Thank you so much. It was very beautiful to be with all of you.